Yo, what is going on, beautiful people? It's your boy again, Mo, with the Mo Money Podcast with my boy.
Hey man, y'all know who it is, man. It's LA, the co-host that do the most.
And today we got a special guest.
Yeah, my name is Rasan. What's going on? OCO to the people.
Get it.
Hey, let's go. We got an intro, so we're gonna do the intro, and then we're gonna talk about positivity and all of that. All right, you ready?
Hey, let's
Let's
go.
go.
Let's go. More money, more
Hey,
money,
hey,
more money
hey.
podcast.
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
We came in again with the banger.
Let's work.
Let's get it.
How's everybody doing? How's your week?
Mine was good though. Been off work a couple days. Hit a couple of books. Reading this book right here, the Christopher Columbus Journals.
Yeah.
Yeah, just got this. Trying to check it out, see what's going on. I just started that, so I had to put it to the side, do some homework real quick.
Yeah, man. It's going good, bro. Just always trying to educate myself, bro. I stay on YouTube University, man, trying to learn new things. So yeah. I was listening to the story of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and somebody made like a cartoon version of it. So yeah, that was pretty good. Check that out, man.
Yeah, I read that book a long time ago. I still have it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that one too.
Yeah, man. I just came from groceries, just doing grocery shopping, trying to be healthy, buying some fruits, some yogurts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I want to know what y'all like when y'all go out do the grocery shopping. What's y'all cart look like?
You want to go first?
Hey man, I'm gonna just say, long as I leave with some chicken, I usually be fine, man. Look. I know, you don't like but man, I like my chicken, bro. I like my chicken. As long as I have that, I'm good, man. Of course, I'm trying to do better on my vegetables, though. Tomatoes, lettuce, spinach. I'm getting to, more comfortable with cucumbers. I'm trying to get there, man. It's not my favorite, but I know it's healthy for you.
You
I've
don't like
been.
cucumber?
It's an aftertaste to it, man. I don't know, but something tells me it's like. But I do get the feeling when I eat it, though. It's like you may not like it, but it's good for you. You know what I'm saying? You may not like the taste, but it's good for you. It's something in there that you don't know it, but you need it. So yeah, it's like go past the taste and just enjoy the food. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it. Yeah,
Like, you already know I'm plant based. Everything, fruits and
Yeah.
vegetables, carbohydrates
everything
and,
healthy.
and minerals. You know that. So to help you out with the cucumbers, the reason why a lot of people eat cucumbers is because it got electrolytes, so it keeps you hydrated.
Mm.
So even when because I give my dogs the same thing. So what I eat, the dogs eat. So they eat rice. I eat rice. I eat sweet potatoes. They eat sweet potato. I just don't eat the ground beef side to it because that's how their structure is. Look, I don't even cook the same pots that I cook their meat in. They got their own pots. A lot of things. The thing about vegetables is that it's electrolytes and the hydration.
Mm.
So I know a lot of people think that water hydrates you, H2O. It's really
Mm.
H3O. So H3O will give you the hydration that you need, and H3O is only in fruits and vegetables.
Right. Explain that a little bit more. H3O. What that mean?
So we already know that H is the hydrogen, and then there's three particles of oxygen, right? So the thing about H3O, it's a little bit more of a jelly-like. It's thicker than water. See, water doesn't have any. How can I put it? Water doesn't have any mineral. It doesn't supply the body with the electrolyte that it think you need. I know a lot of people say you gotta drink water to keep hydrated. If you know something, when you drink a lot of water, it run right through you. It doesn't stick to you. But when it comes down to fruits, your body got to process the gel like that's what the H3O is, and it actually gives you that. That's what they call live water. I know y'all heard that before, live water.
Mm.
First time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called. So they got live water. That's with the electrolytes and the minerals in it. So we going through more of the H3O. So you can only get the H3O from fruits and vegetables. That's why if you notice something, if you squeeze a fruit, it's not as the consistency of it is thicker than water. And so it has a water content in it, but it has more minerals and electrolytes in it, so it makes it a little bit thicker. That's why orange juice is thicker. Take If you even juice a cucumber, it'll be thicker water. Anything, grapefruits, lemons, it doesn't even matter. It's always gonna have a consistency that's thicker than water, but it adds on the nutrients to the water for the body. So that's
Right.
why you see a lot of people fusing fruits or vegetables with water because it makes the water more potent.
Oh, I thought electrolytes come from salt.
Right. It could, but that's it is a certain type of sodium. So we think in salt as in electrolyte. It's more like sodium.
Okay.
So we gotta have a sodium intake. I know people be like, oh, stay away from sodium. You're really supposed to stay away from excessive sodium. That's when you get the high blood pressure and it raises your blood levels and stuff like that.
Yeah. So it's too much sodium, get your high blood pressure.
Yeah, too much sodium, you'll get. That's when you hear people say I got hypertension. So hypertension is high amounts of sodium, high blood pressure. That also comes from stress. That's another reason why I tell people at work, no, don't let them get to you because that'll heighten your blood sugar levels also. Let you know you got high blood pressure, you stressed out, you start being faint and stuff like that, and then it
Mm.
becomes an issue. Now you got to be on medication. Even the
Yeah, what
sugar.
about that? What about that detox thing that people do? They put a lot of fruits in there, like in the pitcher, and they filled it up with water, and then
Right.
drink that water throughout the day.
So that's more like a water fast or a fruit fast or something like that, right? So the thing about that, what they're doing is because you cannot sustain alone with just on water. So what they're doing is putting the minerals in their body that they're losing throughout the day. Because when you want a water fast or a fruit fast, you start losing calories. Calories is what give you your energy. So when you're actually squeezing liquids into, like say for instance, you take you'll fuse the grapefruits or lemons or cucumbers or celery. It doesn't matter what you fuse with it. What it's doing is the water is extracting the minerals from that vegetable or fruit and it's replenishing your body. And that's when they say, oh, it's refreshing. That's why a lot of
Mm.
times you'll see me squeeze a grapefruit in my water. And then sometimes I don't even have to really eat like that because it's giving
Mm.
me the nutrients that my body is missing that water
Mm.
doesn't have. And
Okay.
and a lot of times when people do that, what they're actually doing is it's also a meal suppressant.
Uh huh.
So
What?
people who don't want to eat all the time or they can't eat all the time, they'll put that in their water and their liquid. And you'll notice you won't be having to go to the restroom as much when you got a milk when you're actually doing that than if you just drunk straight water.
Right. Okay. And then what about that tap water? I know they've been putting like a lot of chemicals and chlorine and all that, like fluoride and all that stuff in your water. Can you still filter chemicals out?
So the thing about tap water, even with me here, so I got to get my water source from somewhere. So I got what they call a gravity filter. So I put the tap water inside a gravity filter. It got these filters on it. It tried to strain out all the chemicals and all the fluoride, chlorine and fluoride and stuff like that that they actually have in the water as best possible. Then on top of that, I got mineral drops. So I put the mineral drops in there, and then I'm able to actually revitalize my water now.
Right.
I really very rarely drink regular plain water.
With like nothing in it, and you add your own minerals to it.
Yeah, I put nothing in it, then I add my own minerals. So I got the mineral water, the mineral drops, then or I'll add like a lemon or a key lime or actual a grapefruit in my water.
Okay.
That's why my water always look dirty. Everybody like, why your water look like that? I said because I got a fruit in there.
Okay. I see. Hey
Yeah.
man, so when was the last time you eaten meat? When did you
Me?
quit?
Let me see. I stopped. It's crazy when I tell you this, right? I'm about to expose my age in a minute, right? So I stopped eating pork in 1993.
Mm.
Then I stopped eating beef in 2000. Then I was eating chicken. Then I was a pescatarian up until 2015, and I haven't touched it since. So it's been now 10 years. Do I miss it? Not at all.
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
at all. Do I miss it? Because if you really think about it, I have more energy now. I don't have to sleep all day. I just need enough to revitalize my body, and I'm up and going. More vegetables, more green leafy vegetables. So now I have more energy. So I'm not sluggish anymore. And the thing about it is, even though I'm getting older, I don't never worry about weight problems. When you start getting older, things start slowing down a little bit. You're not a
Yeah.
spring chicken anymore.
Nah, for real. I noticed it too. I was just out of curiosity. I went into that vegetable diet. So I was just eating vegetable, no meat, no dairy. And then you're right. I felt energetic. I felt up. throughout the day.
Right.
They don't feel sluggish, nothing.
I think a lot of people actually stop being plant based or what you would call vegan is because they, how can I put it? They don't put the minerals I was telling you about. It's science work you got to do. Because if you really think about it, they put a lot of science behind the foods that they serve us. A lot of science. So you got to put the equal or sometimes more amount of science to not be a part of that side to it. So, for instance, I tell people a lot of times, first you got to know your body type,
Mm.
and you have to know what you're trying to accomplish. You got to know. Like, I'll ask y'all a question.
Yeah.
So, people who eat meat, right? What is in the meat that's a nutritional value of that meat?
Well, a lot of people say it's a protein. They say protein comes from there. It's supposed to help you build muscle. Supposed to. Yeah.
All right, protein. All right, it's supposed to build muscles, right? Now I'm gonna ask you a question. The meat you're talking about, where did that animal get its protein from?
Yeah.
You see,
Isn't it your body built that? So whatever, like if you said cow, right? Cow eat grass and just green stuff all the time.
right,
But their body processed it and built meat tissues and everything.
right. So that's the amino acids.
That
Actually, protein is the building blocks of amino acids. So when you
Okay.
get, and then you will see where the natural amino acids come from. It comes from the earth. That's why they eat grass all day. If you
Mm,
notice something, they barely drink water because the water is in the greens that they eat. You know what I'm
okay.
saying? So when you mimic animals, you start to see like, oh snap, that's how they get it. So you got non-essential amino acids that builds up one protein molecule.
Yeah.
So I said to
okay.
myself, so when you eating meat, you saying for protein, that's secondhand, that's third string protein.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
not getting
Yeah.
a
I
direct
got what you
protein.
said. Yeah.
So the cows don't eat other animals. The chickens don't
Yeah.
eat other. Well, chickens eat some crazy stuff. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, they
They've
eat
eaten
worms,
worms,
they eat worms, all types of
bugs.
stuff. Roaches. If people don't know,
Yeah.
chickens eat roaches. That's why a lot. If you see a lot of properties, you see they got chickens running around the property because they eat the water bugs and the little insects. That's why you see chickens running around. I used to always say, why they got chickens just running around? Because
Yeah.
they eat the insects. They're like, remember, a lot of animals is made for your natural guardians of the earth.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah,
So we missing it. So we could be getting it from the source, but
right,
we're shortcutting ourselves getting it from
right.
a
So
resource.
and
Yeah.
they're making an assumption of how much protein is in a certain amount of weight when it comes down to eating a certain type of meat. So you got like fish got a certain amount, beef got a certain amount, chicken and pork got a certain amount. But they're
Mhm.
just going off of the weight of the animal and how they're determining, and they're factoring like a hypothetical instead of
Okay.
a factual side to it. Like,
Yeah.
so I tell a lot of people, eat according to your minerals. So when you eat in romaine lettuce, say that's vitamin A, not romaine lettuce. Then you got carotene that's in carrots. You know what I'm saying? So you when you eat according to the vitamin,
Yeah.
and another vitamin that's inside of meat that we don't get is B6 and B12. That's good for cell development.
Yeah.
So being I don't get it, I get a supplement that's actually a B6, a B12 supplement. But I put that in my CMOS instead of putting it
Mm.
in my food. So then I take CMOS every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, that's some good stuff.
Nah, for real.
Yo, so I do want to talk about like the vegetables that we get from the market or
Right.
Walmart or Target or something. Ain't they like they put pesticides and spray some chemicals in it and the ground absorb it? Does it affect the food that we eat?
Definitely. See, the foods in the grocery store is commercialized, right? It's almost like I want you to do a comparison about you cooking food in your house, and then you can go to a fast food restaurant, a regular restaurant, and eat the same exact thing. It'll taste different.
Yeah.
Like your food, you could taste everything, all the seasoning, how fresh it is. Whereas, in once you go to a restaurant, it just tastes so commercialized. Like it'll all
Mm.
taste the same. there's no way in the world every piece of food tastes the same. So
Yeah.
when you go into the grocery store, if you notice something, majority of the fruits and the vegetables they give us is seedless.
Mm.
Now we're
Mm-hmm.
dealing with
Yep.
hybrid vegetables and hybrid fruits. That's why it's always essential
Mm.
to actually grow your own food. And I know people's like, well, I live in an apartment. I can't do that. Well, you really can because now they got hydroponics. And hydroponics is actually growing everything within water. So you can have a hydroponic stand. I'm going to get one too. A hydroponic stand, you don't need any, now you don't need no soil. Everything is
Yeah.
grown underwater.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now you can have a stand in your kitchen and it's automatic. It automatically gives it water, it automatically gives it UV ray lights. You don't got to worry about the pesticides. You don't got to worry about any of that. Because a natural pesticide can be. So I just read this thing about keeping bugs out. And it's crazy. You get copper pennies and you put it inside the soil, and the copper will electrolyze the soil and keep mold out and bugs out from eating from the soil.
What?
And you can do that for the plants you grow?
Yeah, I'm doing with the plants. Like I got a whole bunch of copper pennies, wash them off, and I learned this from the Amish. I was like, yo, when I say there's so many tricks to the trade, and then
Yeah.
the fertilizer soil, the only thing you need is ground
Yeah.
coffee. It's a job.
Yeah.
Rasa, I want you to go back on the hydro plant you were talking about. What is it? So explain that a little bit. Is it like the thing you plug it in and that has a stand and you can grow whatever in it?
Well, there's two ways you can do it, right? So I want you to
Mm-hmm.
think about, I want you to envision a coat hanger, a coat rack. Think about a
Okay.
coat rack, right? So it's standing straight up, but you got these holes in the side, and
Right.
it's like slanted going down. So it has a UV light, right? You can either have it plugged up to an electrical outlet, or you can have it connected to a solar panel. So you can have solar light and say, like, because I'm not gonna lie, be on it. Like, listen, if the sun hit us with some UV rays and knocks out all the electricity, you don't want to depend 100% on electricity that you got to plug up.
Right.
So I would advise people to get a solar panel because it's more in tune. So I got a back door right there, and it's in the living room. So I'm gonna have my solar panel running on the outside to get the energy, but the hydroponic thing is going to be inside the house. So you
Mm.
just get a extension cord, and the extension cord is connected to the back of the machine, and then the solar panels outside, and they got a reserve battery for nighttime. It lets it know when to get the sunlight and lets it know when to get the water. But majority it works in the daytime because you set it on the timer, and being that the solar panel lets it continue that timer. So you fill it up with water one time, and it recycles the water.
Mm.
So the hydroponic machine, it just recycles the water, same water until the water runs dry. It lets you know to add some more water.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
So
get one too.
Man.
yeah, it's almost like you growing your vegetables and fruits underwater.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing.
And you know what I heard? I heard like when you grow your own fruit, it tastes different. It
Yes,
tastes
it
more
do.
fresh.
Yes, it does. It definitely does. Think about it like this, right? So you get a watermelon seeds.
Yeah.
So you fermentate your watermelon seeds. How do you do that? You get a little tiny pot. You take your seeds. You wrap it up. It's crazy. You wrap it up in paper towels, and you put it inside of the dirt, and then you sprinkle it with water, and you get the plant food. You'll start to see it sprout. Once it starts to sprout, you take it out the small plant, and you can. This is on a balcony in an apartment, so you put it out there on a bigger plant, and then watch the watermelon start to grow. It's gonna
Mm.
get crazy because watermelon plants is like watermelons get big, but the thing is you can have it like I got gates, and the good thing about gates is that's where you can grow like grapes, watermelon, because they climb. The vines climb, and the watermelons
Yeah.
grow out of the vines, and that's how you can grow your own watermelons. And every time you eat your watermelon, you save the seeds, and you continue the process. You keep on rotating the process. So the only thing you're doing is eating it and starting the process all over again.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. So you grow your own vegetable,
Right.
right? What about fruits? Do you grow any fruits?
Well, I gotta see. Being that I moved to Texas, Texas got a different type of atmosphere. So I had to get
Yeah.
type of seeds because right now it's cool. When it gets to that 107, 110, a lot of
Hmm.
these vegetables will be um like they'll dry out and it's
Mm.
dry heat. So you gotta constantly water it. So it takes more of a process. So I'm learning the process. I'm learning the atmosphere now. But I already got my compost outside making my compost. So and you can use anything. It's not like you see everybody thinking one way. I
Hmm.
got these plastic things that like they was like containers, and I drilled holes in the bottom of them, and I put dirt in it with my like vegetables that I didn't use for my dogs when I clipped it off, and when I chopped it all up and I put it in the compost. And what happens is it creates. So that right there, I gotta wait until next year to touch that.
Hmm.
So that's gonna be sitting out there all summer, all spring, winter, fall. By next year, now I have my fertilized soil.
Mm.
Yeah.
So right now I got my potting soil right now, and then I'm getting a hydroponics. So I'm going to experiment with that one. I got my German. Matter of fact, let me show you real quick. Let me show you how this real fast.
Man.
This is what I had got before they banned me on TikTok. So this is a seed growing kit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as you can see, this is what it looks like. So you put all the seeds in here with a little bit of dirt, whatever,
Yeah.
and it comes with lights. It has everything. It got the lights on it and everything. See, these are the lights. So this is almost like the hydroponic one I was talking about.
Hmm.
I don't have to put it outside. I can do it right here. This is the lights that go on it. The seeds go in here. They stack up to each other. You put the top on it, and then you can start your process. So sometimes I don't even have to go outside. I can make it right here in the house. And then as they start to grow, then I transport it from that to plants to a bigger pot.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All depends on. But this is thing that they got for your banister. If you have a banister, you can put a flower pot on that banister and it'll grow right there. Only thing you do to get the bugs out, you get a net. And you get the net to keep the bugs out. Then you get one of those lights that be killing the bugs.
Yeah.
It'll be attracting the lights. And
Yeah.
plus I'm on the second floor, so I ain't gotta worry about squirrels and cats and
Right.
all these rodents come up there and eating my stuff.
Yeah.
But then you have your own stuff, so now you got free vegetables, fruits.
Yeah.
Fruits and vegetables. One layer is going to be the fruit, and the other layer is going to be the vegetable.
You know what? I didn't know Texas. We need like when you grow something in Texas, you need a different seed. I didn't know that.
You
Yeah.
need different seeds. It's a zone. It's different zones. I think Texas is either zone 8 or 9 or something like that because of the high heats.
Mm.
It's a lot of science to
Damn.
even grow your own. Everybody just think you just throw something in a pot and then that's it. No, it don't. It don't work like that. And I'm not gonna lie, like I had to really like study, sit
Yeah.
Yeah.
down studying and
That's crazy, man. I'm over here trying to grow some flowers, and they keep dying. I'm like, am I a bad parent?
Bro said it. My bad
am
parent.
I a bad parent?
What am I doing wrong?
What am I doing here?
Nah, cause it makes sense now. Cause I'll be ordering those seeds from online. I'm like, yeah, I
Yeah,
want red roses. So I don't know where they're from. They might be from out of the state, right? And then they ship them. And then I try
right.
to grow them, and they gets like they grow a little bit when they're a little baby, and then that's it. They don't grow after that. They just start getting dry.
Maybe you need a zone. So I got these seeds right here. I'm over here. I'm over here walking around. We on.
What type of seeds?
So these are the Lush Dew seeds, right? So let me see, because they got the zone here. So the zone that we have here, and let me see. This is how they come. This is how the seeds come. They come in this little thing right here.
There you go.
This is kale right here. It tells you on the bottom what it is. Let me
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
See, it's kale,
Yeah.
right? And you get a whole, let me show you, you get a whole bunch of them. It's a whole bunch of different seeds.
Shoot. That's
I mean, a
crazy.
whole bunch. So you pick it up, it'll let you know what's on the bottom of it. But the zone, let me see here. This is zone 8. Texas is a zone 8. Remember I said it's either 8 or 9?
Uh-huh.
So if you going
Okay.
to get some roses, make sure they can grow in zone 8. And then you should be able to grow it from there. But out here, you
Wow.
can grow every vegetable. You could pears, broccoli, cucumbers. It doesn't even matter because Texas got so many different weather patterns. You can almost grow everything in here. Everything's
Yeah.
organic. Yeah, I ordered these last year before I came out here, but I got two whole thing big mason jars full of seeds in the package. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
a game no more. I'm not playing with these. I'm not playing with them no more. I need my
Ah,
help.
shoot.
Yeah.
Hey, you said zone A, you mean like the letter A or the number
No,
8?
the
8.
number eight, the figure
Number
eight.
8.
The number 8. Okay.
Yeah,
Bro, I've been
zone
living
eight.
here all my life, bro. All my life. I ain't know nothing about no zone 8, nothing like that. That's why I'm like, what?
It's year round.
Yeah.
Remember I told you Texas is year
Yeah.
round. This is year
Yeah.
round.
Yeah.
USDA Zone 8 seed bank.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So and that's I always promote people to do that because it puts the power back in your hands.
Yeah.
And that's where like even with my email revocat, it means take over backwards. If you spell it
Mm.
backwards, it's takeover. And the
Mm.
reason why I say takeover is because we got to take over our lives because they got so much control over what we do. We
Mm-hmm.
think the grocery store, going to
Mm-hmm.
you know, going to work every day for 13 hours is
Yeah.
normal. That's not normal.
Mm.
That's not normal when you got to cram everything you need to do for yourself in 2 days. So what you
Mm.
want to do, you want to make your life more simplistic as possible because we know that's why we work. We got to work because the way the system is set up is that we have
Yeah.
to provide. But if you can provide for yourself certain things, you can leave the
Yeah.
major things to your job. You shouldn't be having like think about it. If you catch your own, I don't want to say because you know how they get. You just say if you was able to produce your own water, you
Yeah.
get my drift. You'll be able to sustain life more easily because you wouldn't be worried about having to work to pay for things that come natural.
Yeah. Say, I was watching a video earlier. I think it came up. But anyway, the dude had a aloe vera plant, bro. A aloe vera plant.
Yes,
So he he took the clear stuff. I don't know what you call that, but he put it in the water.
right,
I don't know if he did it with ice or not, but anyway, he washed his face with it and all that. And
right.
then something else he did, bro. He took the aloe vera plant and he took a bite of it.
Good.
I was like, "Hey, yo, what? What we doing? I ain't never seen that, bro." So I'm like, "What's up?" But
So
hold on though. But yeah, I want to know the answer to that. Hold on.
I hurry up. Hey, for real, I got an aloe vera too, but it's not growing. It just since I bought it, it just grow a little bit, and then that's it. You know what, bro? I think my aloe vera is horny. It just have little babies. Nah, for real. It had like you know how aloe vera grow, the babies keep coming out of that the pot, but it's not
right,
going big.
okay, got you. So it depends on what species of the aloe vera plant it is too, because you got ones that grow out of control, and then you got the ones that stay little. So it depends on the species. Like when I got
Shoot.
into all the plant stuff, I'm like aloe vera plant. What's the difference? They grow big. Not like nah, that's a different species. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like dogs and cats and lizards and snakes. You
Yeah.
know, we look at it as a snake, but there's different species. Some can survive in the heat. Some can survive in the rainy weather. Some can survive in the cold.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, you know what? You might be right. I might have had the wrong aloe vera.
Yes. The thing is, it's like we got to get into the habit of knowing exactly what we have because we don't really know what we have. We just get it. Oh, that's an aloe vera plant. Let me get that. And when you know about an aloe vera plant, and the reason why, like Ladarius said about the video, because it's a succulent. So what does a succulent do? It takes all the EMF out of the atmosphere. So what it's doing is it's a healing plant. So an aloe vera, like when you get a cut, it'll heal your cut. So it has healing
Yeah.
properties to it. So some people brush their teeth with it. They eat them. They mix. They let it submerge in water and they drink it because it has healing properties to it. And we know it feels disgusting because it's all slimy and all that stuff like that. but it's a succulent too. That's why you can get water from it. You can actually get like nourishment from it, like a cactus. Like
Yeah.
people think that you bust open a cactus and it spills out water like that. Those are specific breeds of cactuses. The regular cactus, cause I got cactus plants I got one right there sitting there.
Mm.
But the cactus plant, it has in the inside, it takes in all of the sun rays. Like I'm about to put my cactus outside so it can get some sun, but it'll be too cold around here. But that's what the aloe vera plant does. Aloe vera plant has healing properties. You get a cut, you can put it on your face, it'll smooth your face out and all that.
Yeah. So is it like certain aloe vera plant have the healing properties or
No,
all of
all
them?
of it, all of them. It's just
Okay.
that certain ones grow bigger, certain ones are smaller. Like I want to get the ones that grow dumb big. When you come in there, it look like it's like an octopus or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping. That's what I was hoping for, but it just stays like that, like a midget aloe vera.
I got a Michigan one too. It's in the room. I was like, this thing ain't gonna get no bigger than that. And then next you know, you see one of the leaves be turning
Yeah,
orange. It look like it's falling off. You gotta clip it.
yeah. No, mine is good. It's green because I water it, but it's just like I said, it's horny. It just keep popping up babies. It's not growing.
That's how one of my cactus plant is going. So it got a cactus flower on it. It's in the dog's room, but then another one is popping out on the top of it. I'm like, so you're just not gonna get bigger? You're just gonna keep on adding on to yourself?
Yeah.
So yeah, them joints is crazy.
All right, LA.
No,
What was your question?
no, yeah. I was just like, why is he eating it? What is? I had never seen that before. I've heard you could, use it on scars and stuff, healing and things like that. But he was consuming it. Like I ain't never seen that before. Yeah.
Well, he probably was detoxing also because it'll flush you out. Yeah, it'll flush you out.
Mm.
So it has healing properties, so it'll push all the toxins out of your body if you consume it. That's why a lot of people will put the aloe vera.
That's wifey, y'all. Yeah.
So the aloe vera, like people put it in their water, and when they put it
Snap.
in their water, it's like a detox. It'll flush you out. Boom. Anything that ain't supposed to be in there is coming out.
Ooh.
If you get my drift.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
He
Wow.
over here writing it down.
Yeah. Man, what? I ain't playing. I ain't playing. Yeah. We getting knowledge today.
Let's get it.
Man, so you know what? Sometimes I wonder, right? Where does this all knowledge come from? Like, who's that person just sitting randomly is like, man, let me taste this aloe vera. It might be good. And then he
Yeah.
did it, and we all did it after him.
Yeah.
So I used to think that. I said they must have had a lot of time on their hands just to sit there and look at stuff, right?
For real.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, it started with medicine. Like if you get
Mm-hmm.
hurt or you get injured or you're sick, you want to know what you can do to better your situation. And a lot of times it came with the plants. So that's why they'll know about like certain people of the lands will say, hey, if you rub this plant on it, it'll heal this. If you take this, it'll heal that. It always started with healing. And then
Yeah.
it became a thing of nourishment. I'm hungry. What can I eat to stop me from being hungry?
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people got the bat and the stick testing this stuff out. Cause somebody had to be somebody had to be the lab rat.
Yeah. The guinea pig.
Well, what happened to Sir? Oh, he gone. We
Yeah.
won't be eating that. That's poison. You gotta ask yourself, like,
Fam said he
how did
gone.
you know that a blowfish was toxic? Somebody had to eat it.
Yeah. Somebody
Say,
had.
yeah, he ain't come back from that one. Yeah, we
Yeah.
can't eat that. And
Man.
then the crazy thing is, who was the person to see how much of the blowfish you can eat before it became toxic? Like, why would you risk it like that? Like, why would you do that?
Yeah,
Yo.
it's crazy. But as far as like what I know, a lot of the knowledge, the information comes from ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
Like all your medicines and healings and all that. And I know you're a big fan because I can see your background
So,
of
what if
Egypt,
I told you ancient Egypt was in the Americas?
like right here in the United States.
Yeah, in the Americas.
What?
Yeah.
So, You got to think about it. So there's a Cairo in, I think it's Mississippi. I think it's Cairo, Mississippi. There's the Nile River is a Mississippi River. It's the same as a Nile River in Egypt,
Hmm.
right? You got the same weather conditions, but the difference is like think about the crops from Egypt, right? Think about the number system of Egypt also. So the same thing that they use to heal and you see on the hieroglyphs. Because I even got hieroglyphs on my arms tattooed and everything, right? I got a bunch of hieroglyphs all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got tattoos all over the place, right?
Man, it's amazing.
So when you really, I even got the hieroglyphs on my wall overhead,
Hmm.
right? So when you think about the science, pyramids in the Americas is connected to the pyramids in Egypt.
Hmm.
We got pyramids? I didn't know we got pyramids.
Yeah, we got the
Man.
most pyramids in the world in America. We got some of the oldest pyramids in America, even older than the pyramid of Giza, right?
Hmm.
So the only difference between the Americas and Egypt is exposed. So they're digging, they're telling everybody it's renowned. At the same fashion, the first step pyramid was in Mexico.
Mm.
So I think what was it called? Where was the step pyramid? Saqqara, right? That's how you say it. I think it's in Saqqara in Egypt, in Cairo. The step
Sakara?
pyramid,
Yeah, I heard that before. Yeah, I heard
yeah.
that before.
The
Okay.
step pyramid in Mexico in Tomuca, I think that's how you say it, is actually older than the step pyramid from in Egypt. I'm like, what?
What?
You know, they did the carbon data and stuff like that. And I was like, and you know, that's Imhotep, right? So Imhotep did all that. So I'm sitting there like, wait a minute, hold on, time out. Something ain't adding up here. Think
Right.
about it. So you know Haru, right? Horus, the falcon, that
Yes.
originated in the Americas. There's no falcons like that in Egypt. They was brought out there because they can't survive in that. They can survive in the heat. They can see from higher up, and that's how they can see their prey. But what prey was they looking at? Where were they, in the desert? Because the falcons out here is not in the desert; they're in wooded areas.
Right. But wasn't it Egypt wasn't the desert first? It has green and trees and all of that. It happened way
Yeah,
after.
it was. It was like you know when you see the desert, right?
Right.
And we can see this now. So you ever saw a dried up lake or a dried up pond,
Yep.
and they put all the cracks in the ground?
Yep.
That's Egypt too. It was once water. It was actually land, like greenery and stuff like that. And then, well, what it is the shift of the platelets, and it drained the water out, and the heat, and the lack of rain, drained it out. It's gone. Create the desert, sandstorms, stuff like that. You got to think about it. Sand. How you get all that sand? Sand is from water. Desert. That's the bottom of the sand is on the bottom of a water mass. So in order to have sand, you can only go to the beach to get sand.
Right.
Sand is only next to water. And Egypt is flooded with sand. That whole thing was like water. So I'm like, was it a tsunami? What happened? Was it an earthquake? And all the water evaporated? Something happened.
Yeah.
So it was even the pyramid of Giza. If they did the carbon base to it, and it has water damage. I said, so it was submerged.
Hmm.
Yeah. You know what? Recently I was listening to someone. He said people did found like whale bones in
Right.
Egypt.
Exactly.
What?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you be so man, listen. It's it's a lot going on around. They're finding a whole lot. They're digging up stuff and finding like there's a part of Florida, even with Florida, that's underwater. They finding stuff from thousands of years ago in Florida. So I'm
Yeah.
sitting there like, wait a minute, this is not what I learned.
Right.
Oh, back in the books again. So that's why I got all the books of Tartarians and all that craziness.
Yeah.
Yo, that's crazy. And the fascinating thing about those pyramids in Egypt is like they're so aligned with the stars and poles.
Right.
And then because when we look at it, it's like you need a very advanced technology to find all of that out.
Yes. Definitely.
and then build something, some sort of like, megalithic structure like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So
why
I'm like, are we the advanced people or were they the advanced people back in the day?
Mm.
the way I see it, especially from Billy Carson and all them
Yeah,
and various other people, we're actually the offsprings of the most intelligent ones. That's
Mm-hmm.
why we can't sit there and just be stuck on this one thing. They already had this technology. This technology, like the Anunnakis and stuff like that, they had it. So that's why the universal language is numbers. It is
yeah,
not letters. Letters are numbers. Why? Think about what they say. What is the 10th letter of the alphabet? What is the third letter of the alphabet? Because even computers do not acknowledge letters. Computers only acknowledge numbers.
yeah,
So when you look at the coordinates of Egypt in the Little Dip, I think it is precise, on point. If you look at the coordinates on the tip of the pyramid, you can see the Milky Way. How did you get this? But then when you come all the way to
yeah.
Mexico with their pyramids and the mounds in America, all of it is in line. The coordinates is in line with the same universal structure. The little the what's it, the Little Dipper or the Big
Big Dipper,
Dipper
Big Dipper.
and the Milky Way. It's lined up with it precisely. How did they all know this at the same time from so many different various locations on the earth? So we're advanced, but not as advanced as the people who stipulated these structures.
So you know what? Well, I also wonder if they had those advanced technologies like that. Why couldn't we find it buried somewhere, some sort of metal, or you know what I'm saying, like some sort of a tool made of stone?
Right. But
Where all of that?
you know what? How much you want to bet most of us probably did see that and overlooked it? So you got to
Probably.
think about it like this. We don't know things exist until somebody say this is what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes I think about it. We done saw stone things and metal things and sitting around, just sitting there. We don't think that's. We just think it's a bunch of garbage that somebody threw away.
Yeah.
We'll dig up stuff and we'll find stuff, and then we won't think nothing of it.
Mm-hmm.
You see, you can probably see an ancient relic rolling down the street because somebody done kicked it from their house thinking it wasn't nothing, and it was actually an ancient relic. So we probably did see something. We probably just overlooked it, especially when you're next to water, if you're next to mountainous caves. Most of us
Yeah.
are scared to go to a cave anyway because we like, I'm not going to no cave. I don't know what's in there. And that's where people was living at. So you won't be able to find it because we're too afraid to go to these places. We try to stay where we're comfortable at. Like think about it. We in Texas, right? We leave the city area. We go toward the mountainous regions or go toward Oklahoma or something like that. And we'll go to areas where nobody goes. You don't know what you'll find in there. We just don't go to places where nobody goes. You gotta
Yeah.
go where nobody, and then how many things have they found digging stuff up, wanting to build, and next thing you know, they found the whole temple under the ground.
That's crazy. Plus, the Earth is so big,
Right.
and we are like very little people compared to the Earth, land, and it's like we don't know where to dig.
Anywhere. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Listen. So you ever saw that movie Waterworld?
Nah, I haven't seen it.
So Waterworld, Mel Gibson used to just jump in the water and see what he can find under there. You just go places where, and you gotta think about it, right? When we go on vacation, we go to places that everybody go. So you're not gonna find anything. We don't never explore. Exploring means going to places that other people's not going.
Mm.
So you have to really see where that's where geography comes from. You gotta really know the map. I got maps on my and I'm like a super nerd. I got maps on my wall. Cause I got a map of the United States and a map of the world. I want to see how it's all connected.
Yeah.
And I'm going to Oklahoma. As soon as it get hot, I need to go to some mountains or something. I want to go on a
Yeah.
mountain. I want to see what was out there. People like, you bugging. They got coyotes and wolves and all that. I said, yeah. And we have things to protect us from them things.
So you're gonna be up there like digging stuff, trying to find something.
Yeah. I'm actually I want to see what's out there. And the thing is that, because we research things differently now. So we're not gonna overlook something that looks strange.
Mhm.
If it looks strange, like, what's that?
Yeah.
Hey, something's sticking up out the ground. Go
Yeah.
Yeah.
dig
What is it? Yeah.
It's like,
it.
and
See,
it's moving.
yeah, and it was like, what?
Right.
I'm at Area 51.
Yeah. Where'd that come from? Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's that we're just programmed not to see things
Mm.
in a certain light. So when we do that, what happens is now we're overlooking everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now you probably saw uh, a supposed to be dinosaur fish in the water, but you just thought it was probably like a shark or a whale or a dolphin or something like that. It probably was something completely different. We don't pay attention to that. We see something moving in the water. What's that moving in the water? I don't know. I ain't going in there. I don't know what's in that water. Might
Right.
be a megadon in there or something like that.
Man.
Yeah. You seen the movies?
Yeah, I seen
Man,
megadon.
it's crazy. But you know
Yeah.
what they say, humans haven't actually explored the ocean yet fully.
No, definitely. They haven't fully explored the ocean. It's too big. It's too vast.
Mm-hmm.
It's too
It's and
much.
it's too deep. Like
Well,
our
certain
equipment,
parts is. You got to
yes.
think about it. You got the ocean, you got the sea. So different types of water also.
Mm.
You got fresh water, salt water, right? Which is crazy if you really think about the science to that. One is salt and one is fresh, and they both connected. But the polarity of the Earth stops it from crossing over.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. To me, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You got salt water, fresh water. They don't separate themselves. They together.
Man.
Too much salt in one, certain animals can't live in it. And then they can't live in the fresh water because they're used to the salt water. That's crazy to me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy, man.
Hmm.
It's you know what? Sometimes I wonder, maybe like humans, like we're not native to this planet. Maybe we're the aliens on this planet.
I think the same thing.
Hey,
I think we got dropped off over here.
nah, for real. Cause okay, what? But this is how I was thinking it. Cause if you look at like animals, like you look at lions or kangaroo or something like that, they
Right,
don't build their own shelter the way we does. We want all the luxuries, we want all the comfort. What they do, they live in like the earth provide the shelter,
right.
right? They
Yeah.
eat whatever is available. We over here cooking it, fry them, like putting seasoning to it for our taste and stuff.
So I'll be sitting here thinking, right? So I say to myself, where did we get the idea for the technology that we have?
Yeah,
Like, who taught us the science behind numbers?
Right.
Like, if you think about it, I was like, who created the numerological system? Where
Mm.
did that idea come from? It didn't come out of thin air. Nothing comes out of thin air.
Right.
Somebody or something gave them the tools to implement this. Because I'm thinking about the 1980s to the 2025s. You couldn't tell me in a million years we'll have the stuff that we have now within my
Yeah.
lifetime.
right.
And it's so advanced that between 1980 and 1990, almost nothing changed. Between 1990 and 2000, everything changed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then 2000, 2010, it just got even better. Think about what you was doing 15 years ago and what we had. We don't even deal with that stuff no more. We was on MySpace 15 years ago.
Man. Yo.
MySpace don't stand a chance against the apps out right
yeah,
now. Look how we communicating. How many
Man.
of us remember you had to pay for Skype in order to do what we're doing for free?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, and then you got facial recognition, fingerprints on phones. Even though this technology was out, now it's accessible to everybody at dirt dirt cheap prices.
yeah,
Yeah.
We got cars that's completely computerized. See, when people look at electric cars, all your cars is computerized. Only the
Mm.
engine uses gas. Everything else is a computer.
Mm.
Yep.
Cars can tell if your phone is in the car or someone else's phone in the car. Your phone can tell if it's somebody you know got a Bluetooth device or somebody you don't know got a Bluetooth device. It can tell. It can tell if you're connected to an outside Wi-Fi or the Wi-Fi in your house.
Mm-hmm.
When before you just had to keep on putting the password into your on your phone whenever. It's so crazy now. Like even if you get a new phone, it'll pick up all your Wi-Fi passwords from your old phone,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you don't have to do nothing.
And
And
you
this
know
is
what
all
they
in a matter of
do
like 10 years.
with this new one? Like if you want to share your password to someone, like you invited a guest to your house, when they're trying to connect, your phone gonna pop up a notification. So like, hey, do you want to like share the password
Yes,
with them right now? You hit OK, and then they don't even gotta type nothing. They're already connected.
they already
Man.
connect. So
Man.
my mother has service in North Carolina. Every time somebody goes in, it sends me a notification that asks me, "Do I want to accept this device?" In North Carolina,
Yeah.
Wow.
just a connection. So of course, I'm learning about that right now. It's the MAC addresses and all that, and the IPs and the level 2 and the level 3 type of network connectors. And it literally asks me, "Do I want this device to be connected in a whole nother state?"
That's
That's the
wild.
state that we're in now.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's bananas.
And it's only gonna get better and better, man. That's the crazy thing about it,
Yeah, yo,
man.
look. So what I try to do is mix traditional with modern together as one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I grow my own food and all that. But now I want to know. I want to start learning how to splice.
Mm-hmm.
I want to create my own fruit, my own vegetable.
Yeah.
Only I know how to make. That's a hybrid. This is
Mm.
when you take two natural things, you make a natural plant. See if they
Yeah.
can grow together, if they can live, if they can survive together.
Mm.
That's when we start going
Yo,
into chemistry.
Yeah.
watermelon and oranges. That's what
Yeah,
I'm thinking.
you have
Yeah.
a water orange.
For real.
Oh, the water orange.
Hey,
Man.
what you eating? A water. I mean the water orange.
Water orange.
Man. Orange melon. Man.
Orange melon.
Yo, that'll be wild.
That's crazy. So you don't think they have tried it?
Yeah, of course. They still trying it. They probably did it already. We just don't know about it. And we think it's going to be some new fruit. That's when out of nowhere you get stuff like jackfruit,
Yeah.
dragon fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, ain't it broccoli? Broccoli is the hybrid of
Yeah,
something. Yeah,
definitely.
it's a man-made stuff.
It's a man-made plant. So is cauliflower. Even though I just bought broccoli and cauliflower for the dogs, but hey,
Yeah.
that's for the
Yeah.
dog. And
Yeah.
then it's the fertilizer. So we do a lot of nitrogen fertilizer.
What that
Wow.
mean?
Yeah, nitrogen fertilizer. So it has so like, so the atmosphere, it has a lot of nitrogen in it. So that's where, when you see lightning,
Mhm.
what lightning is actually doing is destroying the excess nitrogen in the air. Carbon, carbon dioxide, monoxide, all that crazy stuff is in the air too, right? So what it's actually doing is, so nitrogen is actually in the ground. That's what fertilizer is. But broccoli has a lot of nitrogen. That's why it makes you gassy. It's a little bit, it's high in nitrogen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so broccoli is a splice. I forgot what two plants it is, but it's a
Yeah.
splice.
Damn. So if you eat too much broccoli, we could die.
Well, you won't necessarily die, but you'll be constipated like crazy. Gassy is I don't know what.
Yeah.
That's why I give my dog just a little bit, a couple of broccoli spears like that, like maybe one or two each, because they'll be like, it'd be a mess.
Mm.
It'd be a whole mess.
Yo, that's crazy.
Do you? I want to ask you, like, a lot of people have like mentors and stuff like that, or people they get they're influenced by people they pick up knowledge from and stuff like that. Who are those people for you? Did you have somebody who gave you this knowledge, or did you have to, go throughout life and study and learn this stuff on your own, educating yourself, reading books and things like that? So,
Well, it came from a lot of different sources. So, I'm a fitness fanatic. Do personal training, nutrition, stuff like that. And it's like one thing leads to another.
hmm
So I can't say I got a mentor. Of course, I was told if you want to learn. Well, my mom told me something a long time ago. She said, If you no smart woman want a dumb man, right? So in order for you to get a good woman, you got to know some things. And she
Yeah.
said it's better to know a little bit about a lot of things than a lot of things about one thing, because then
Mm.
it puts you in a box to only knowing one thing. So if
Mm.
anybody try to have a conversation with you outside of that one thing, you're gonna be lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
I said, okay. So I took that and I formulated my own perception to it. So I'm not going to just listen to this. I'm going to listen to this. I'm going to listen to that. I'm going to listen to this. So it's hard to say if I had one mentor. I
Yeah.
might get advice from one person.
Yeah.
Started with my mother, then it trickled on to dudes on the block when I was in New York. It was like, yo, listen, learn about this, learn about that, learn about this, read this, read this. So then you started seeing all different aspects from different types of people. So you start learning about all types of stuff. That's why I say I don't know how people can be bored. There's too much stuff out here to be bored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
I mean, it's way too much. Like we could be talking about this right now. An hour from now, you might run into a video. Somebody's talking about the Anunnaki. Then an hour after that, somebody will be talking about the Tartarians. Then the mud floods and the Chicago fires. Then you'll be talking about you'll listen to Cali Muscle talking about how to lift 3,000 pounds.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
so much stuff that's
Right.
out there, and
Right.
it's like when I was showing you the book, I was like, when I first saw this book, I was like, how to rebuild a civilization?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to cop that. How much that cost? $20.
Yeah.
Must be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So I
valuable.
bought it. I bought that book. Then it's learn the law, case law, studying that. That's never ending. It changes so much. It's
Yeah.
just so much stuff. You gotta learn about it's just so much to learn because we don't know anything. We only taught what they told us to learn in school.
Yeah.
We really don't know too much of nothing. They cut us out of everything. But now,
So I was just about to say, so just as far as like educating yourself and things we learn and things like that, what do you think is like one of the most important things you've learned about life?
like life in general,
Yeah, just life period. Yeah. What do you think the
see,
most important thing is that you've had to learn or teach yourself?
the most important thing that I learned was life is valuable because we grow up not having any value. That's why we be doing the idiotic stuff, right? And the reason why we do the idiotic stuff when we're young, because it's almost like you ever see like the birds when the birds have the little birds and they say push them out the nest and you just learn things on your own. That is the most idiotic way to tell a child to go and do something because they're gonna get into whatever's in their circumference. So you're not teaching them how to think. I think what I learned about life was learning how to live life instead of living life. We don't know
Mm.
how to live in life. We just live life. We take it day by day, every day, same thing, over and over again. Everybody doing the same. If you look around, just take yourself out of the equation. Just sit back and look.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget. One day I was on the benches in the projects in Staten Island, New York, and I looked around. I said, "This is not going to be my life." I
Yeah.
was looking at the old timers walking around with 40s in their hand. I said, "Oh no, y'all
Right.
been here how long doing what? No,
Yeah.
I can't do that." So I said, I don't want to live life. I want to know how to live life.
Mm-hmm.
So that prompted me into to learning something about life in general. So now I have more respect for life.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So we don't when I grew more respect for life, it got to a point where I said, yeah, I got to do this right here. I got to do that. This makes sense. That don't make any sense. Even with working, think about it. Next time go to work, ask the average person what they're working for.
Yeah.
That's an ill question. Why are you working?
Why are you working? Yeah. Yeah.
What is your goal for working?
Yeah.
I got to pay these bills. So that means you're never going to accomplish anything after that. Because if your mindset is, I'm working to pay bills,
Mm-hmm.
that's it. So if you was to minimize your bills, would you not work? And most people say no. So what are you going to do? Most people don't even know why they work. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be an expiration date. and working.
Yeah.
Mine's not going to be 70.
Right.
I'm not working until I'm 70 years old. You can forget that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you ask yourself, what do we work for? If we working for food and shelter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it be logical to buy your own shelter and grow your own food? Then you don't have to do what? Work. So what's your end goal? So I had to ask myself, what's my end goal? I'm gonna buy this land, build my house, pay it off in full, grow my own food,
Yeah.
Yeah.
harness my own water, become a mechanic, fix my own cars.
Mm.
You can go to the junkyard and get cheap pieces, hook your car up, learn
Yeah.
how to do everything to a car.
Yeah.
Learn the essentials of living. You're learning how to live, not just living.
Yeah.
Yo, that's real.
That's big. That was
that's
big.
that's
And
real.
then you're free. Then you're really free when you don't have to rely on anyone but yourself for everything that you have. And then we need to start learning to live like a minimalist.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of value placed on money. I think that's what it is. And sometimes I find myself asking, what would the world be without money? What would that look like?
Peaceful.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? They used to have gold and silver coins that people trade with. Now they got paper.
Yeah.
Paper.
Everybody chasing the
Remember this.
paper.
How much I remember one thing. Remember when that little thing, I don't want to say it on here, that little thing that happened in 2019 when we couldn't go outside? I mean, 2020 when we couldn't go outside?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's the one thing that they did? They had a shortage of something. What was that?
Well, I know it was like chicken wings.
Nah, it was something that was tangible.
Yeah.
I
You don't
lost me.
remember? Remember when you went to the store and you went to buy something? They said you had to have exact change.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I know
You
they
don't
were
remember
out
that?
of toilet paper.
Nah, I'm not talking about stuff like that. It was one thing on a payment system that they did not have.
The contactless payment,
Nah, the change.
the change. Okay.
Remember, there was on a coin shortage. Why is that? That's a mineral from the ground. Aluminum, nickel, copper. They wasn't giving nobody no coins.
Mm.
None. They told you come with the exact change or use a card. But you're
Yeah.
not getting no change. And I said, no change.
Yeah.
Because that's the only tangible thing that you have is mineral.
Mm.
You gotta think about it. It's nickel, aluminum, and copper. That's
Yeah.
in coins. The paper ain't nothing. It's a tree.
Yeah.
You destroyed the tree because now we can't breathe the oxygen from the tree. But the coin, remember I told you, a copper penny, you put it in the plant and they get rid of the mold. You can conduct electricity from copper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd never pay attention like that. Man, this is wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, so they don't want to give us the coins because they know that's the only thing that's valuable out of what we use to spend stuff on. We downplay. Think about what we downplay. Everybody want to big up diamonds, right? A diamond is plentiful. It has no, how can I say, it? No esoteric property to it. It's not good for anything but glitter and glamour. It's coal under pressure. That's it. It's just a piece of coal that was under immense heat and pressure, and it turned it hard as a rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what is worth? What has more worth than that? A gemstone, crystals. Think about it. That little hurricane thing that happened in North Carolina. That little town that got wiped out. You know what was under that town? Quartz. What is quartz
Mm.
used for? Technology. Quartz is in your cell phone and in these computers. I got clear quartz chains sitting up there. That's why you put copper around a stone and it draws the energy from the sun and it recharges your stone.
Mm.
Can't do that with a diamond.
What?
So they
Yeah.
tricked us to thinking diamonds. They use diamonds to cut through, to put it on saws and drill.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is not worth what we think it is. A diamond is worthless.
Yeah.
It's a hard rock. That's all it is. It has no
Honestly,
property.
yeah, it's them ladies that crazy for it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, diamonds. I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, It's nothing, just a stone. That's what it is.
Yeah, it is.
It's a shiny
But the
Material.
stone.
stone that costs nothing is actually worth more than a diamond. If you get a bunch of stones, you put them around your house, it'll protect your house from the magnetic field of the earth. You put a
Yeah,
bunch of diamonds on it, it's nothing. It ain't gonna do nothing.
yeah,
Yeah,
That's why, like, a lot of people, they're starting to see the copper. Why do you think copper is when a gas station closes down? Don't people almost fight over that copper
man.
to go in?
Yeah,
They wiring is made out of copper.
yeah.
yeah.
It's a conductor for electricity.
Mm,
Why if diamonds were so why doesn't diamonds conduct energy if they're so important? If they're so valuable, why aren't they using diamonds? And there's
yeah,
plenty of diamonds all over the world.
yeah,
So why aren't they using diamonds to do it? Why are they using copper for wiring?
yeah. Wow.
I think diamonds just a distraction to keep us away from all that gold and silver and copper.
Yeah,
It,
exactly. If I make you think that something worthless is worth something, while I'm getting the thing that's worth something to
Hmm.
me, you
yeah,
think that you're doing your
Man,
so
that's
man.
that's
like
crazy.
they say, it's easy to fool a population that don't know. It's harder to fool a population that knows. So,
Wow.
for instance, so TikTok just had their reset. They reset TikTok.
Yeah. After they got banned,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, but you got to peep this though. They never got banned. Remember that. So, working in technology, right? You start to realize, what a total reset is, right? A reboot.
Yeah,
When you get a new program on your computer, you got to reboot it. It got to update.
yeah,
yeah,
So the system can generate what the new update was, right?
yeah,
That's what they went through. They went through a meta reboot
yeah.
because all the intelligent books that was on TikTok is not there anymore. Most of
Mm,
those books that I showed you, I got it from TikTok. You cannot find those commercials no more.
mm.
So it went through a reboot. And those books and those commercials and those ads that people be saying, you gotta buy this, you don't get that on Facebook or Instagram, not even YouTube. But on TikTok, they were selling a lot of books.
Yeah.
They don't do it no more.
Wow.
So
yeah. I know. It's
if because TikTok was promoting intelligence. What are you doing? You're making the population smarter. So that means it's harder
Yeah,
for us to implement what we want to implement.
yeah,
yeah.
So now we took it over. Now it's back to normal. You
Mm,
only see bickering back and forth. You only see
mm-hmm,
people arguing. It reminds me of Facebook 2.0 now.
mm-hmm.
You
Yep.
gotta kind of look at what transpired. That's why I'm glad I got all my stuff. So now I'm like this in the cut. Yeah, I'm good. I already know. I got the
yeah.
sauce over here. Got the keys to the city.
Man, that's crazy.
For
Yeah.
real.
Yeah, I
I
remember
be
it was a lot of stuff that used to pop up that does not pop up anymore. A lot of educational stuff, like people used to try to educate you on politics and things that were going
right.
on, things like that. It's like a lot of that stuff is, you know, they call it shadow banning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like they take,
they dumbed it down.
yep, they
I
take
can
the
show you
real
some
shit.
books. I can show you some books right now, but if I put these books up there, you know what's gonna happen
Yeah.
because now it's promoting self-reliance,
Uh
Yeah,
huh.
and they don't really want you to promote self-reliance because the simple fact is that now the the GOV can only survive when you need them. They can't survive when you don't need them. So I mean, I got off the grid survival stuff and how to build a tiny house on your own, cheap,
yeah,
how to cut down wood and how to drill wells to get water, stuff like that. When I say that information is not on the top no more, I say, yo, they really trying to keep us stuck in the same realm.
Matrix.
it's the matrix we live in,
This is beyond the matrix.
and everybody's an NPC.
NPCs, they run around here.
Yeah.
For
I'll
real.
be sitting back like, sometimes I'll be scared to bring the books that I got to work I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah.
Nah,
Well,
for real. Yeah.
yeah. They can't tell you nothing about it being in your car.
Yeah, that's why I be at home sometimes. Like we need to we need to download. Well, we need to unload, put like that. A lot of the stuff that we do daily, because if you think about it, I read something a long time ago. Think about Labor Day, right? Why do we work on Labor Day?
Right.
If you know why Labor Day was for, it was
Yeah.
for the average worker. No
Yeah.
one's supposed to work on that day. We
It'll be
still
a day
do.
off.
We work at least 50% of the day.
Yeah.
When do you got time to do what you need to do for yourself?
Feel like you never have time, really.
You really don't. That's why.
Yeah.
So let's do the math. You work. You really work 9 hours a day
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because you got that 1 hour lunch that you don't get paid for. So that's a free hour.
Mm-hmm.
It takes you. We're going to give you 2 hours of travel time.
Yeah.
So 1 hour to get there, 9 hours, 1 hour to get home. That's 11 hours.
Yeah.
Then you sleep for 6 to 7 hours.
Yeah.
That's 17 hours. It's only
Yeah.
24 hours in a day. But you're so tired,
Yeah.
mentally burnt out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Study numbers and it'll all make sense to you.
Yeah.
All of it. Think about that. What's the hardest class in school? Math.
Man.
Hate that shit.
Man. Bruh.
Yeah.
Not that. I tell you what. I didn't hate it all. The basic stuff like plus the thing I can like do it and then it makes sense in my mind. I can like, hey, like what's 2 times 2? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
if you put 2 apples and add another 2, that's 4.
Yeah.
It's the X's and Y's and
Man.
Z's that just tricked me off, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's geometry right there.
Algebra and all.
Yeah. So when so here's a question. I got a question for both of y'all, right? Talking
Mm-hmm.
about numbers. What's 1 plus 1?
Yeah. Yeah. 1 plus 1 is 3.
What the hell? What type of math you running?
So you know about that.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
And
plus one
how's
is
it
three.
3?
3.
Break it down, Darius. Tell them
Well, I
why 1 plus
mean,
1 is 3.
for me, 1 plus 1 equals 3. Well, I done did it to 4 now.
So you gotta think about it, right?
What
And
you
we're gonna
mean?
I
use
made it to 4.
the Darius's what he just painted out, because he's absolutely correct, right? There was no such thing as a plus sign.
Okay.
Think about the ancient scriptures, right? Like the ancient hieroglyphs and all that.
Right.
Where did you ever see a plus sign? Well, all right. So do you remember Roman numerals? Remember we talked
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah.
Roman numerals. Where did they ever have a plus sign? So it was,
Yeah.
get a line, then a line. You
Mhm.
automatically knew that was an add-on.
Yeah.
Line. When you want to take one out, what do? You strike it through.
Yeah.
So you get a line. Oh no, take one away. You strike it through. It looked
Yeah.
like a crooked X.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. It looked like, because one is straight and the other one is slanted, right? So let's look at life. You got a man. You got a woman. One man, one woman. How could it make 2 if you have a baby?
Mm.
Nah, bro. I think no. Hold on. No. When you say, "Look, I got these pens, right? I'm gonna give you this example, right?
Right.
1 plus 1.
Right? If you take that one pen and make that highlighter with that pen, what comes out from both of them mating?
Nah, but like, look, if you take this pen, you take another pen, they're 2 now. So you got 2 pens.
Right? But that's 2 separate pens.
Yeah.
A plus sign is an add-on, right?
So you
So
add
if
them
you got
together. Now
one
it's 2.
pen, if you got one pen,
Yeah.
you got one man. Because remember, everything evolves around life, right?
Yeah.
And remember, I said we're going to learn how to live life.
Yeah.
So those are just materialistic, non-living objects. Name one animal on the planet that one can mate with another one and it stays 2.
Nah, that's multiplying, right? That is going to
Bingo.
multiply.
Yeah,
Bingo.
exactly.
Bingo.
One male dog, one female dog makes another third dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not 2 of them. The only time it becomes 2 is if you take one out of the equation.
Yeah.
Now think about what is the sign of a hospital down the street. What is the sign of a
The plus sign?
cross? But that was the method of punishment.
Yeah. Crucifixion.
So it takes away.
Mm.
Medical, like on your medical card, you see
Yeah.
the snake and the wings and
Mm.
the
Yep.
rod, right? The stick.
What's some wings? Them are angel wings, right?
Yeah, could be.
And what's some angel wings signify? You out of here. You gonna leave this place, right? So when you think about it, right, cross, the plus sign is supposed to be on one side.
Yeah.
That cross is it's a strike. Remember we just talked about the strike?
Yeah.
The plus sign is a strike,
Yeah.
taking one away. That's why I said you gotta do the math.
Yeah.
That's why you heard a lot of people from back in the day say, yo, just do the math. One is three. One man, one woman is a child. It's three of y'all now. It's
Yeah.
not one man, one child, one man, one woman is one child. Then one man, a woman again, and another child. Then it goes to four. Now you have four of y'all all together.
Yeah.
But there's no such thing as a two when you got a plus sign. That plus sign is a derivative. It takes it away. Because you gotta think about it. Who created the formula of 1 + 1 = 2?
Mm.
Someone who was taking it away. It's
Yeah.
a religious symbol.
Mm.
It's more on that side of religion right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll tell you, yeah, that's not a real mathematical equation. That
Yeah.
was a statement, not math.
Mm-hmm.
1 + 1 = 2. You have the baby, we take one of y'all away. That's a
Mm.
statement, not a mathematical equation.
Mm. Man.
Plus sign. A plus sign on a computer. It
That's
says plus to us, but it's a command. It's an equation. It's a command.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a number. It's a command.
It's a
yeah.
command.
The
Yeah.
equal, the at, the hashtag, the dollar sign. Those are equations.
Yeah.
Those are mathematical equations. One, then the plus sign. One, then the equal sign. You got to press shift. And those are equations. Those are
Yeah.
methods. But if you just press one, you'll see ones all the way across the board.
Yeah.
Binary code.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Bruh.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's why everything links up with them. So like talk about the pyramids, right? Think about what a pyramid is. The pyramid has 5 sides. The base is 4. The fifth is the point.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? That's what I was thinking.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So then if you think about everything is above is below, it's actually 10 now.
Mm.
Because pyramids look like it's like a paradigm.
Yeah.
It looks like this and it looks like that
Right.
in the ground.
Yeah.
So on the bottom of the pyramid, which we can't see underground, it looks like this. So it's going like this,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like that. Remember back in the day, we used to make our fake diamonds?
Yeah.
It was two pyramids upside down. It says everything above is below. So actually, remember the first arrows? Didn't the first arrow look like this?
Yeah.
It was the shape of a pyramid. That was the first arrow.
Man.
It's shaped like a pyramid.
Yeah.
Now the arrows are shaped like an oblique
Mm.
because they just got a point, like they just got a point, and it just goes straight down. And
Yeah.
on the bottom is where that's the base, and that's for the wind. Well, I'm gonna tell you what, math is crazy. When you start
Man.
understanding, once you start getting math, you're like everything else makes sense.
Yo,
Yeah.
this. Hey, today's conversation is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, we gotta
It's to
look.
it's to wake us up, wake you up.
Yeah, that's for real. Looks like we hit the mark for today, and we're gonna talk about we're gonna talk about some more numbers.
Yeah, we're
That's
gonna have to
Definitely.
talk more.
yeah.
We're gonna have to run it back.
That 1 + 1 = 3. I still have some questions about it,
No doubt.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
but yeah, hey man, I just want to say thank you so much for
Nah,
coming
for
into
sure.
More Money Podcast,
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Rasan.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
enjoyed. Look, we built there an hour and a half. It didn't even feel like that.
Man.
for real. I just looked
Yo.
at the time.
Just blinked and then there it go. Like, dang, where the time go?
Well, I
Yeah,
appreciate y'all having me up here.
Nah, for sure, man. We appreciate you coming on, spending your valuable time, man, because
yeah.
this time you can't get back.
That
No,
knowledge,
this is
man, it's
this is
crazy.
what you call spending time productively.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Not for real. Now, Rasan, we have a thing like before we go, we have like our ending statements. You can be a tip or a suggestions or something we say at the end. It can be funny or serious.
Yeah.
You know, mine's gonna be serious. Listen, listen. Never let nobody underestimate education, because real education comes from anything that will level you up, not keep you the same.
That's deep.
Yeah.
LA,
Man.
you got
Stay
some?
away from that chicken, though, Darius.
I'm working on it. I'm working
Hey,
on it. I'm working
you
on
got
it.
something?
Yeah, man. Either going in a circle or you going straight. What path you on?
Yeah,
Hey,
I'm not trying
Going.
to circle back so much.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go. I'm trying to go forward.
You're gonna keep
and
going in a circle until you learn your lesson. So learn your lesson so you can move to the next thing, man. That's my message for today.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Definitely.
that's that's for real.
Yeah.
Hey, at the end, this is what I would say. I would say something positive. I start a new habit or build something positive this week. Something push-ups. I'm doing 200 push-ups now. About to go for 250.
Yeah.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. Let's
Let's
go.
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
Let's
about to go
go.
for 250. And then before I leave, I say, whenever you're driving through the city, turn your damn high beams off. It's crazy. Blinding people up like come on, y'all. We know better.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
No,
Heck yeah.
definitely,
turn them
definitely.
turn them brights off. But this is your
I
boy
ain't gonna
Mo
turn the
Money
brights
with Mo Money Podcast. I'm out.
on. All right, gotcha.
Peace. Peace. Yeah.